What is going on, everybody? It is the Chick-fil-A-Cows here bringing you my Super Bowl predictions video. Less than a week away from the big game. I know I am excited, so I decided to hop on, play a little bit of Madden. I'm playing as the Panthers, just goofing around versus the Broncos in just a play now game mode. And we are, at least I am really excited. I know all of you guys are as well. We are all super excited to see the end of Peyton Manning's career, at least I assume the end of his career. I really don't see him coming back with the neck, with the arm. I don't think he's confirmed that this is his final game, but I really just don't see him coming back for next year. But still, man, what a career he has had. He's been playing since I was two, or one or two. So basically, since I've been, as long as I can remember, Peyton Manning's been playing quarterback. I used to be a huge Colts fan only because of him. Once he left, no longer a Colts fan. Uh, and just his career, even though he's gotten a ton of criticisms, he could never really win the big one, they said, until he finally did. But then the fact that he lost two straight, people are doubting him again. Just still a great career. Not many players can even say they made it to the Super Bowl, but for him to do it 4 times, win or lose, that's just a huge accomplishment. And Cam Newton, man, I was a little worried that maybe he just wasn't going to be as good as everybody thought, or maybe he didn't deserve that #1 pick when he first came into the league, because he deserved the #1 pick for what he did in college. He ran over everybody in the NCAA. I'm an Arkansas fan. I got to see it firsthand. It was painful, but still, it was incredible. He was that good, and when he went into the NFL, things were not that easy. He couldn't just do that to everybody. So that's a huge testament to him and his hard work to start working towards improving, and not just working towards it. Now he has improved big time compared to what he used to be. He hasn't pulled a Johnny Manziel when things got tough. He just goes parties. Maybe he goes in parties too, but he definitely is putting in work on the side. So credit to these guys. I think it's the first Super Bowl that two #1 pick quarterbacks are going head to head at each other. So that's pretty cool. Peyton being a MVP, Cam going to be an MVP, I'm sure. I don't know how they would give it to anybody else. So 2 MVPs, two #1 picks. Pretty intriguing matchup. So who do I think will win? And this is not going to surprise you a bit. I'm going with the Panthers. I'm rooting for the Broncos, though. I want to see Peyton Manning go out with the win. But the Panthers just, I don't know how you can pick against the Panthers. They are just too tough. They got too much depth. They're too deep. They got Cam Newton. He's the X factor. He changes everything in the game. He changes how a defense approaches things. Like going up against Tom Brady is a little bit easier. I mean, not trying to take away from Tom Brady, but the defensively, you don't have to worry about a quarterback spy for the most part. But you do have to worry about that with Cam. That takes a guy out of pass coverage, or sometimes just a little hesitation by a defense can take a couple of guys out of pass coverage. You guys already know Cam can change a game. He has changed games this entire season. So that is going to be really difficult for the Broncos. I don't think that they faced not that there really is another version, but I just don't think that they've faced an offense like this the entire year. They haven't faced the Seahawks, they haven't faced the Vikings, they haven't really gone up against this. The only thing I can really compare them to maybe would be the Colts with Andrew Luck, and they lost that if I remember right. And maybe KC with Alex Smith, and they split those. So that they haven't gone up against this, so it would be pretty interesting to see the defense. To me, that's the biggest matchup. The most intriguing is the Panthers offense going up and Cam going up against the Broncos defense. That's going to be really interesting to see. Now, on the other side of the ball, though, the Panthers haven't gone up against a defense like this. The #1 defense in the NFL, definitely a great defense. And as you guys can see right now, I'm just goofing around. But I guess the closest you can compare them to would be the Cardinals, or statistically the Texans. And they just blew the Cardinals out of the water. But I've seen this before, a lot of people, everybody's seen this before, where a team just blows another one out, and you think, oh, it's over, they're going to win no matter what. And then when they go up against a much tougher opponent, things don't go as smoothly, and you got to wonder how much of that was the Panthers just destroying the Cardinals, and how much of that was the Cardinals just destroying themselves. Because there's a difference, and I don't know which it is, and we'll definitely see a little bit of that come Sunday, but it did look like the Panthers destroyed them, but it also looked like Carson Palmer helped big time in that. So that'll definitely be interesting to see. Now, the keys to the game, I don't really think the Panthers have that many keys. Just get pressure on Manning. That should do the trick. Disrupt him. And just let Cam do his thing. Now, offensively for the Broncos, to me, this is the entire key to the game. Can sum up the entire game in this one thing. They have to get a run game going. Peyton Manning cannot throw the ball 40 times in the Super Bowl. They will lose if they are throwing that many times, unless he's just having crazy success, and I just don't see that happening. They got to get a run game going. That will definitely alleviate a little bit of pressure from Manning, definitely take it off of him and give him more time to work in the pocket, more open receivers. And that's another thing, the receivers have got to come out to play, because the last time the Broncos were in the Super Bowl, they had a much better, at least I think, a much better receiving core than they have right now, and a much better Manning. But after that first play, that safety, it was just over. The entire game was over. But more importantly, you could see the receivers before the ball got there. They were bracing for impact from the hit that they knew was coming from Cam Chancellor. They were just already scared. They were just running scared out there on the field. You can't do that in the Super Bowl and even hope to win. You can't even compete doing that. So the receivers have got, and I don't think the defense will do that to them, but the receivers have got to step up and be able to make plays for Manning. Demaryius Thomas has got to be able to hold on to the ball when Manning gets it to him. That's going to be critical, that they get a run game going and that the receivers will hold on to the ball when Manning actually has the pass on target, which will happen. I'm not trying to run Manning down. I just mean, once he gets it there, other guys have got to step up. And the good news for them, though, is the #1 defense, and I think that will be able to keep them in the game. I don't think, I do see it as a possibility for sure, but I really don't think the Panthers are just going to come out and destroy them. I don't see that happening. I mean, I can see that, but I'm pretty sure, I'd say about a 70% chance that does not happen. And if the Broncos defense can keep this game close, like I think they will, Manning will have a shot to go out with a really, really impressive win against arguably the toughest Super Bowl opponent he has gone up against besides the Seahawks. That's debatable. I don't know. That's a debate for another day. So that's my take on it. You guys got to let me know what you think. Like I said, I am super, super excited. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to keep using super. I'm not trying to do that. I'm really excited for the Super Bowl. Manning's last game. There's a lot going on. Can Cam step up to the challenge? The Broncos defense, can they keep them in games like they've been doing all year? And, maybe somebody like Ted Ginn for the Panthers just going to come up and be a huge X factor nobody's expecting, could change completely everything, or maybe the Broncos defense is just going to give Cam fits like they did Brady. That's it for this episode or video. Thank you for watching. Eat more chicken, and I will see you guys all next time.